read Thump, Thump Helps Out. And we are going to work together to retell it. Now, yesterday we had our first paragraph writing test. And so this is time to review what is expected and make sure we're ready for the next one. Sound good? Okay, let me get out of the way. So here's our story again. Thump, Thump Helps Out. We'll come back to that in just a second. I'm going to show you how you can make a foursquare just with any type of paper, okay? So this is some scratch paper from here at the school, and I'm going to line up my corners to fold it in half hamburger style, and then I'm going to fold it in half hamburger style again. Okay, get a little bit closer. And then when I unfold it, hey look, I have 4 boxes there ready to work with. Okay, so in the middle, I'm going to put my topic, which is the title of the story today. So I'm putting Thump, Thump Helps Out. So you do not need to be making a foursquare right now. Right now we are working together to brainstorm our thinking. Okay, so let's look at what happened first in the story. Oh, my paper does not want to stay flat. What happened next in the story? What happened then in the story? And what's our last section? Finally, or at the end. Okay, so we have our 4 sections. I always like to put a box around the theme to help keep it separate. Okay, I think I'm even going to put boxes over around our helper words here that help tell us the order of the story. Okay. Okay, let's look at the back. Let's look back at the story and decide what the first thing is that happens that's really important for the story. Because when we're doing a retell, we're not going to tell every little detail, just the most important things. Okay, so we had the first page, and here on the first page, we found out that Thump Thump likes to sing and make a lot of noise with his foot, and the other little rabbits don't like it. Why don't they like it? They think he's being too loud. They say, hush, okay? Which we know hush means let's get quiet, right? So if we're saying hush, then we want Thump Thump to get more quiet. So if we want him more quiet, we think he's too loud. So I'm going to put that first. He's too loud. I'm just putting words to help me keep track of what happened in the story. Okay, what happened next? Next, oh, there was a problem. The bus got stuck in the mud. Okay, and so we don't need to include what people are saying, but the main idea on these pages is that the bus is stuck in the mud. So back on our paper, next, bus in mud. Just a few words to help us remember. Okay. Okay, then let's come down to then. What happened then? So if we go to the next page, there we go. Oh, I accidentally went 2 pages. Okay, on these pages, what is happening? Thump Thump solved the problem. What did he do? Okay, here Thump Thump made noise. He thumped, right? But this time they wanted him. Then he thumped. We're just going to put thumped. And what happened because he thumped? Down here, the last sentence says, the kids got home fast. So I'm just going to put kids home. Okay, so you can see this is my brainstorm. This is me thinking about what was the most important parts of the story. Okay, so I'm thinking that first, the most important thing was they thought he was too loud. Next, the bus was stuck in the mud. Then Thump Thump thumped really loud, so that help came, and finally the kids were able to go home. Okay, so when I do a paper like this, I'm not putting every single word, I'm not writing sentences, I'm just putting my main ideas. So let's take that now and turn it into a paragraph. So tell me the things that you need for it to be a really good paragraph. Okay, we have to have our best handwriting, right? When we're doing our sentences, we need to, so for our 5-star sentences, we need good handwriting. It needs to make sense. We need to start with a capital, end with a period, and what goes in between the words? Finger spaces. Okay. Do you remember how we start a narrative or a retell? I'll give you the first word, let. How do I finish that? Let me tell you about Thump. Thump helps out. So we have our topic. Let me tell you about, and then our topic. Thump. Thump helps out. Okay, so we're going to come to the beginning. I'm going to start with a capital. Listen to the sounds. Leave a finger space. Me, me, leave a finger space. Tell. T, E, O. 2 L's. Okay. Let me tell you is this another sight word. Y-O-U. Leave a space. About. Now we've written these words enough times that we should know how to write them and write them quickly now. Okay, and what's our topic? Thump. Thump helps out. And you can look right there. There's our topic right there. Thump. Thump helps out. Remember, go to the edge of the paper when you're out of space. You go to the new line. Now, do you remember why all of these words get a capital? Thump, thump helps out. Why do they all get capitals? We use capitals at the beginning of a sentence or at the beginning of a name. All of these words are part of the name of the story. Okay, so it is a name, and so that's why it gets capitals. Okay, so there I have. Let me tell you about Thump. Thump helps out. How do we end a sentence? You absolutely have to have a period. If you aren't remembering your periods, you're going to lose points on your writing tests. Okay, those are things we are looking for. Is that we're starting with our capital, we're putting spaces between our words, we're ending with the period. Okay, how do we share our story now? We come up here, we're going to use our helper words first, and then we'll put a comma. Now we're putting a comma after the word first. Do you remember why? It's because it's not really part of the sentence. It's just helping us know the order. So the comma tells us to pause. So I do first, pause, and then I share the real part of my sentence. Okay. Now, because this is connected to a sentence and it's at the beginning, it's the capital. So when we share our thought in a sentence, we don't need to put another capital because the capital's already there. But the comma is keeping it separate from our thought. So what was our first thought that was important? Okay. Remember we thought that he was too loud. So we'll share that. First, he, make sure we're putting spaces between those words, was, both of those are sight words, too, meaning very or a lot. Okay, so we have two O's on this one. It's another sight word. First, he was too loud. Okay, so we were able to share our first thought. When we get to the end of a thought, we put a period. Okay, if you need more time, you can pause between. Okay, then we're going to share what happens next. And again, because this is a word helping us put things in order, it's going to have a comma after it to separate it from the thought in the sentence. So we're going to start with the capital. Next, comma, period with a tell. Next, what happened? Next, the bus got stuck in mud. The bus got stuck in mud. The sight word, bus, we can sound that out easy. B, s. I hear three sounds, so I know I'm going to have at least three letters. Bus, got, that's another sound, another sight word, and again it has three sounds. G, t. So if I have three sounds, I know I'm going to have at least three letters. G, t. Stuck. I don't think I have enough room here for the word stuck, so I'm going to move to the next line. Stuck. S, t, k. So the C and K working together. In, another sight word. Mud. M, d, three sounds, so at least three letters. End with a period. Okay, so there's our next thought. When we're done with that, we go to our then thought. Then's another helper word, so it will connect to the sentence with a comma in between. Then, okay, and the only word I have here is thumped. Why did he thump? He thumped for help. He thumped for help. Then, comma, see if I can make this show a little bit better. Then, comma, he, that's a sight word, thumped. There's our word right there, thumped. The sound from this week. Thumped. But remember, if we hear a T right after a consonant, we're saying it already happened. E-D. So even though it sounds like a T, it's E-D. He thumped. Why did he thump? For help. For, there's another sight word. And help is another sight word. Lots of sight words. Okay. Then he thumped for help. What's our last transition word? Helper word. Finally. So what happened finally? Finally, comma, the kids got home. Finally. comma, the, another sight word, kids, k, I, d, s. 4 sounds, k, I, d, s. So I'm going to need at least 4 letters. The kids, k, I, d. More than one, I add a s. Good. Got, oh, we did got up here as well. It hasn't changed how it gets spelled. If you can spell it once, you can spell it again. The kids got home. Oh, I hear 3 sounds, so we know it's going to have at least 3 letters. Oh, and you might know about that sneaky E, which is making the O say its own name. And we end with a period. Okay? So, let me tell you about our all words we should be very comfortable writing. If those are words you need to practice, please do so they come fast. Okay? First, next, then, and finally, same thing. We've used those all on our retells and our narratives. So they are all words that we should feel very comfortable with. So if you are not comfortable with those words yet, get comfortable with them because they're not going anywhere. We're going to keep using them for our narratives, okay? So hopefully working on this one together today gave you some good reminders and helped you realize that it can go pretty fast if you stay focused and pay attention to what it is you're doing. And hopefully it gave you some reminders on why we do some of the things. We want to make sure people understand what we are thinking. Okay, so I'm looking forward to seeing your beautiful paragraphs. Remember to share them. Thanks.